Nicki Minaj is going to war with Jay-Z, and she is accusing him of her owing her $200 million.
Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her $200 million so far.
And while some people want to write her off and like she is just crazy, she has receipts. And the story of what she is claiming Jay-Z did to her is wild in the worst way. And if what she says is true, her facts could destroy his empire. Picture this. The year is 2015. Jay-Z decides he's going to save music. He launches Tidal, a streaming service for the artists, by the artists. The optics are incredible. He gathers the Avengers of music on one stage. Rihanna, J. Cole, Beyonce, and right there with them, Nicki Minaj. They're all smiling, signing documents in front of the world. The message is clear. The power is back in the hands of the creators. And the deal, according to reports from Billboard, was revolutionary. Jay allegedly offered Nicki and 15 other artists a 3% equity stake in the company. This wasn't just about royalties, this was about ownership. For her part, Nicki went all in. She promoted Tidal, did exclusives, and was one of its most visible champions. She was a partner. Then, fast forward to 2021, Jay-Z makes a classic Hive business move. He sells his majority stake in Tidal to Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey for a reported $300 million, $300 million. This is the moment the original promise should have paid off. This is when those 3% stakes should have turned into generational wealth. For Nicki, that stake was calculated to be worth about $8.9 million, a life-changing bag. But according to Nicki, that bag never came. Instead, she claims she was offered just $1 million, $1 million in what she called hush money. And according to reports, she wasn't the only one with complaints. Kanye West and a duo called American Dollar had also publicly disputed payments from Tidal in the past. For Nicki, going from a potential nearly $9 million payout to a $1 million settlement offer, the math just ain't mathing.
That Jay-Z sold his major share of Tidal to Jack Dorsey for $300 million.
So what happened? The story that came out from Jay-Z's camp via his affiliate Steve Stout was a simple, brutal explanation. Nicki never signed the final paperwork, a technicality, an oversight that allegedly cost her millions. Case closed, right? Not even close. This is where Nicki Minaj grabs the entire narrative, lights it on fire, and throws it back in their faces. She gets on X, the very platform she claims Jay-Z helped ruin, and goes scorched earth. She calls out the paperwork excuse, framing it as a deliberate fraudulent tactic. She tweets, and I'm paraphrasing here, "Imagine that being a talking point. Do you know how much of a snake you'd have to have someone do all the work, then come out and say, oh, oop, you never signed your paperwork?" She's basically asking, so you're telling me that while I was working for the company, promoting it, doing exclusives, you let me do all that with nothing signed? She calls it what she sees it as, scare tactics and manipulation to steal what I worked for. She then raises a critical point. If that onstage signing in front of the world was fake, just for media, what does that say about the NDAs she signed? Are those fake too? It's a brilliant chess move, turning their own defense into an accusation of fraud. But this is where the story stops being about $8.9 million and becomes something much, much bigger. Nicki decides this isn't a business dispute. It's a moral crusade. She posts a tweet that rocks the internet. Jay-Z called me to settle the karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You still in my top 5 though. A karmic debt. In the price tag, she says, we've calculated about $100 to $200 million so far. The number is so astronomical, it sounds like a joke, but she is dead serious. This isn't about a contract anymore. This is about everything that came after. And then she drops the bomb. The tweet that became a meme, a rallying cry, and a declaration of war all in one. She says, "Dear Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up." She slaps on an alleged and for entertainment purposes only disclaimer, but the damage is done. The shot has been fired from the highest tower of her kingdom. Now, you might be thinking this is wild, but it's one artist's grievance. This is where Nicki proves she's playing 4D chess. She starts connecting her personal fight to a larger, more disturbing narrative she sees forming around Jay-Z and Roc Nation. She's not just saying you wronged me, she's saying you do this to people. She brings up the deeply unsettling public battle between Roc Nation's powerful CEO, Desiree Perez, and her own daughter, Demore Hadley. Demory has made very serious public allegations against her mother, claiming she was subjected to harassment, false imprisonment, and attempts to paint her as mentally unstable. Nicki draws a direct line from Demory's story to her own. She tweets, "Isn't it odd that Desiree Perez's own daughter is claiming they kept making false statements to get her in a mental facility? Kardane, does this not all sound familiar?" She's creating a pattern. She's suggesting that the tactics allegedly used against her are part of a Roc Nation playbook. It's a chilling accusation that reframes her entire fight. She even weaves in other controversies like the lawsuit from Rymir, the man who has claimed for over a decade to be Jay-Z's son and alleges Jay has used his legal power to avoid a paternity test. In Nicki's narrative, it all points to the same thing, a powerful machine that allegedly crushes anyone who gets in its way. The whole situation is dripping with irony. Tidal, the platform built on artist empowerment, is now at the center of a $100 million artist exploitation claim. And Nicki is using X, a platform she says Jay-Z ruined, as her primary weapon against him. She even manages to keep it complicated, calling him a top 5 rapper. In the same breath, she accuses him of owing her a fortune. The Breakfast Club's Charlemagne the God had a point, saying, "If someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X."
No idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X.
It's a valid dose of skepticism, but for Nicki, the court of public opinion is her battlefield, and she uses every weapon in her arsenal, including her own infamous controversies. She attacks Jay-Z's political affiliations, claiming he left the community hanging, and then, in a move only Nicki Minaj could pull off, she punctuates her point by saying, "hanging like my cousin's friend's testicles." It's chaotic, it's messy, it's undeniably entertaining, but underneath the wild quotes is a serious challenge to one of the most powerful men in culture. Jay-Z has built an untouchable brand as the benevolent mogul, the one who looks out for the culture. Nicki is taking a sledgehammer to that image, piece by piece. She and others like DJ Academics, who have called Roc Nation a bully, are painting a picture of a company that looks like a monopoly trying to strong-arm the industry. And so far, from Jay-Z and Roc Nation, silence. The karmic debt, according to Nicki, is still collecting interest. The question is this the rant of a disgruntled artist, or is it the righteous roar of a whistleblower who's finally decided the king has no clothes? The truth is, it might be both. And one thing is for certain, the jig is far from up. This is just getting started.